Guess who's back? Back again. Sherry's back, Sherry's back, Sherry's back. Woohoo! So good to be back with you on the Health Habits and Epic Living podcast. Oh my gosh, it's been wild to take a pause. It's been wild to be on pause, and it's been wild to hear from so many of you while I was on the pause. I told people my podcast was taking a menopause break. And it's been so lovely to connect with some of you who've reached out and said, "Oh, I missed your podcast. I hope you bring it back." Some of you have told me that live line when I've seen you out in the community. Some of you have been sending me messages and DMs. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you. It's meant a lot. Going through that pause was like, oh, I have time to do more things, to explore more things. I've been working out. I've been reading a ton. I've been engaging in all these transformational programs that I've become a part of and just learning and growing. And it's been a delight. And I've also missed you. So it's been good, and it's also time to come back. So I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to share some of the growth and transformation that I've experienced in just this short period of time. I think we can do so much transformation and change in a short period of time. I don't think change needs to take years and years and years to occur. I think you can get massive change in a short amount of time. And I have been so proud of the changes that I've been making in my own health journey and transforming that, and what I'm learning and what I'm figuring out and what I'm going to be embarking upon and learning. There's just so much, so much. I signed up for a program later this year. There's just so much exciting things that you can be doing and investing in your health and in your longevity. And it's so much fun. I just did a crazy workout yesterday and my thighs and butt are on fire. TMI, but I'm so excited for that. Oh, and while I've been away from the podcast, I did make a change in one of my programs. It was called Transform in 10, and now it is called Metabolic Makeover for Midlife Women. I am loving the name change because we're bringing more information about how to navigate particularly perimenopause and menopause transition. It is a time in a woman's health. I mean, hey, I'm going through it. I'm in it. I get it. There is just so much going on inside of our bodies. And I don't think can be enough voices in this space. I know there are a lot of voices out there in this space. I follow a lot of these lovely ladies, learning from them and contributing to that wealth of knowledge. And I just want to say, wow, finally, the menopause mission has come alive, and it is alive and well out there. And so I know many women have been coming to me for like, hey, I'm experiencing this or that, or I'm crying. I lost my mojo. I don't know what's going on. I used to be so driven. I used to be so optimistic. And now I feel like I'm falling apart and I'm not myself. And I don't know where to go. I don't know how to start the process. And I want to just say, I've got you. After helping friends, colleagues, churchgoers, like a lot of people through this process, I get it. Going through the process currently, I get it. I get it where we struggle and some simple things that can help. And I want to say, whether you take bioidentical hormone replacement therapy or not, that is not the only decision you need to make. There are many other things. There are many other ways you can support your health during this time. And some of them, I think, are even more crucial than going on hormone replacement therapy. I think we've resurrected hormone replacement therapy, which has been lovely for bioidentical hormones. They definitely are justified for many women, but also there's so much more we can be doing. There's so much more that has actually even a more monumental impact on your health. And so I teach about all this inside of Metabolic Makeover because, hey, ladies, has worked in our 20s and our 30s, we know stops working. How do we know? Our body tells us. Our body's more achy. Our body's more tired. Our body is tired but wired. Our body may be more depressed, maybe more weepy. Our body is gaining weight, right? All of these are signs as the body's saying, hey, lady, help me out here. What you've been doing is not working. So time to make a change and take it to a whole new level, which is really a makeover, right? Just totally make it over so you can enjoy the next 40 years, right? We've got 40 more years after the age of 50, which is the rough 51 being the average age of menopause, but we know people go through it at any time. It could be earlier or later, depending on health conditions and other things. So, yeah, we've got a long road ahead of us. So, we want to maximize those 40 years and not just feel like, oh, we've got to grin and bear it and fake it till we make it. And oh my gosh, can't wait to retire because my joints, everything hurts. I don't want to get out of bed. Yes, no, that is no way to live. So, metabolic makeover is where it's at. So fun. I love the ladies in that program. Losing weight, sleeping better, eating in a way that serves their body and getting rid of addictions or bad habits that just haven't been the best for their current body and where their bodies want to go. So, been loving hanging out in that space. Which brings me to the topic I want to talk about on today's podcast, which is when we don't change, we are basically staying the same. And when we are choosing to stay the same, on some level, a lot of us, I think our brains think, oh, that's a good thing. We're staying the same. We're committed. Yeah, we want to just be like the old days. Well, I want to offer to you that sometimes staying the same is the greatest problem for the human species. Because if we stay the same, what are we doing? We're choosing to stay in the same habit cycles, the negative habit cycles, and do the same behaviors that aren't working for us anymore. Hey, maybe that drinking nightlife worked for you in your 20s and 30s and you had no qualms about it. Your brain and your body weren't screaming, help, help, this doesn't feel good, right? You were able to do activities of daily living, hold down a job, right? Maybe it just didn't interfere that much. But as you know, my story, there was just something internally telling me, like, I didn't have a rock bottom moment. And I really want to kick that idea that you need a rock bottom moment to change, because you don't. I changed because I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like how I felt about my drinking, and I didn't like how much control it had over me. And I didn't like how I felt in the morning when I would bag out on a workout again. And I would just not do the things I said I was going to do. My self-trust was eroded. My self-esteem was eroded because of that. Staying the same was keeping me trapped in bondage to a habit I didn't want. Staying the same was saying I was going to live in that prison for the rest of my life. I am not willing to do that. I did not want to choose to stay the same. And if we think about this, ladies, right? Like, this can happen to us at any point in our time, whether we're in our 20s or 30s or 40s, it doesn't matter where we are at in life. We can choose to say we don't want to stay the same, because staying the same is actually causing a lot of pain, emotional pain, mental anguish. Should I buy the alcohol? Should I not? Should I eat the cookies in the pantry? Should I not? Should I buy them? Like, just all the should've, all the questioning, all the mental fatigue, all the decision fatigue. It was draining me mentally, emotionally. And don't forget, even though it's only a 10 or 12 bottle of wine, it was draining me a bit financially, right? So it becomes this drain on your life. And staying the same, repeating the same mistakes over and over, that's not what I wanted. I didn't want to keep choosing to stay the same. I didn't want to stay the same even if my social network stayed the same. The social norms out there. Oh yeah, you're still going to go out to bars. There's still going to be people drinking, and let them be them. I love that Mel Robbins book. Let them be them. But for me, staying the same feels painful, feels agonizing, feels like, I don't want to do this anymore. I wanted to embrace change. I wanted to choose change. When you embrace change, all you're doing is saying, I choose change. I choose change over staying the same. Because staying the same makes me feel stuck, makes me feel worse, because I have no hope, because I feel powerless, because I feel hopeless, because I don't see a way out. And so I become depressed. And when you're there, oh my gosh, that does not feel good. And you don't have energy and you don't feel like you can change. But here's the thing, when you start moving to and towards change by saying, I'm going to choose change. I'm choosing it today. I'm choosing it now. Because when I start, I can start moving forward, taking the action I want to be taking, and being that woman I want to be. Being that woman today, not waiting 3 months, not waiting 6 months. And ladies, your life can change so dramatically in just a few weeks, you have no idea. I mean, look at anything that you do consistently for about 4 or 5 weeks. You completely feel changed at the end of that. You feel like even if you're not at your goal, you feel amazing. You start working out consistently. You start feeling better and better each week. You start cleaning up your meals and your eating and do clean eating. And guess what? Within a couple of weeks, you start feeling really different, really good. Because you're choosing change. And I've been improving my health and my transformation in just these few short months, and it feels really good. And it meant I wasn't going to choose to stay the same. Some things had to change. I put the podcast on hold. Did I have to? Maybe, maybe not, but I chose to. Right? Just because you quit something or stop doing something doesn't mean you can't go back to it. If you want to, if you're called, when you're feeling called, if you're feeling called. But I think there's so much wisdom that comes from our bodies because our bodies will tell us, hey, this doesn't feel good anymore. Can we look at what needs to change? Because staying the same is going to bring us a lot more pain. I've actually was just helping someone with their health transformation. One of my friends hired me as her coach to be her health transformation coach. And we were talking and she's like, gosh, how much more times am I going to come to a weekend where I feel mildly hungover? This doesn't feel good. I used to not mind it, but now it really bothers me. Yeah, how many more times? How many more times are you going to choose to stay the same? Because it's a choice we make. We may not think about it that way, but it certainly is. The reality is we get to choose to stay the same, or we get to choose to change. And when she saw that, she's like, wow, yes, I am choosing to stay the same. But here, I actually want to choose change. And that is so liberating, my friends. That's inviting in freedom to your life. That's saying, okay, I'm done with the mental anguish over this. I'm done with the emotional turmoil I keep putting myself through by making no change, no difference, and choosing to stay the same. But my body is craving change. Even if you think about postpartum, right? Some women, not all, but some women go through some depression, go through the blues. It may be clinical, it may be subclinical. They may resent the baby at times. They may resent their body at times because their body went through a huge change. It doesn't look the same. It doesn't act the same. It's a huge change. So you can resist that change and try to say, I shouldn't feel this way. None of this should be happening. I don't know why this is happening. And do all that resisting, just like women do when they're in the perimenopause, menopause. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to lay in bed. I'm not going to tell anybody about it. Silence, you can be in silence and loneliness, but it's not going to help you get the change you want and help you through that transition. If you're just going to say, rather embrace the change and saying, okay, my body has changed. So now I have to feed it differently, have to move it differently, have to do this differently, have to think about things differently, have to restructure my day differently. And I'm using the word have to, but you don't have to. You can choose to stay the exact same way. But if you want to experience more joy, more freedom, more health, and more happiness, you will choose change. Because choosing change is what's going to get you the more happiness, more joy in your life. And what I'm finding, when I choose the change, it may be hard for a few days, but then it just becomes easier and easier. Like, I think we think this change is going to be so hard. We have to commit to it for a whole year. Yeah, maybe. But maybe the change and the hardness is just in the beginning. And it just becomes like, oh yeah, this is what I do. Oh yeah, this is my new normal. Okay, it feels a little different than what I used to do, but I can get on board with this. And then it starts to feel good. And then it just takes on a mind of its own. This brings me back to a client I was just having a conversation with. She went through Epic You, drink less lifestyle, all of that. And she said to me, God, it's been over a year and I still can't believe the changed drinker I am. Like, it's amazing that I can go without any alcohol during the week. No problem. I don't think about it. I don't crave it. If it's around me, I'm like, phew, I don't even care. My drinking has totally changed during the week, and I feel so good about that. And I'm able to step in the type of relationship I want with alcohol on the weekends. Feels amazing that I don't overdrink and that I'm not constantly having alcohol in my hand 24 hours in a 24-hour period, right? Because she used to drink every night, just like I did. Yeah. And it just happened. Was the first part of it a little jolting? Was it a little bit, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work out. Yeah, I'm a little skeptical, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, I'm embracing this change. And then all of a sudden, you're changed. And it lasts. It lasts when you get to the root cause, which is why I love functional medicine, which is why I love deep inner transformational work, which is why I'm a transformational coach, because man, when you change the inside and get to the root cause of something or root causes, there's not always just one, there could be a few, you completely change the outward of whatever you do, right? Your outward behavior. Amazing, amazing. So doing that inner work is what causes the change. And we can choose to stay the same or we can choose to change. And when you embrace change, it becomes easier, my friend. All right, so as I'm wrapping up on this episode, I want to ask you, after listening to this, what in your life where you're staying the same is no longer helping you? Where in your life that choosing to stay the same is costing you more than you want, whether that's emotionally, mentally, financially, spiritually? Where is it that your mind and your body and your soul are calling out to you that staying the same is actually more painful than embracing change? And then I invite you to embrace change in that part of your life and carry through. And if you want help in this process, feel free to reach out. I'd love to support you in this journey where you could get your transformation, your health, your freedom, and your happiness back in your life. All right, my friend, so amazing. Woohoo, to be with you. So excited to be back. And I will see you in the next episode. Until then, stay epic, my friend. Thanks for listening to the Health Habits and Epic Living podcast. If you're ready to take the next step to improve your health, wellness, and lifestyle goals, head over to www.epicyou.com and sign up for my weekly newsletter. Again, that's EPICYOU.com. Please note that the information in this podcast is for educational purposes only and does not constitute medical advice.